Hello, my name is Penny ST, and I'm the host of Peace with Penny and co-host for our first annual Peace Seder, sponsored by Unity is Strength, Peace with Penny, the Federation Movement, and Unity Made Visible. Just in the nick of time, Passover is almost here. Creating this Peace Haggadah wasn't as painful as childbirth, but it had its moments. All we had to do to persevere was to remember the victims of the Israel-Hamas war and plod on. Obviously, our long nights and compressed schedule was nothing in compared to the grief and tragedy of war. In this 20-minute video, we wanted to give you the free link to our Peace Haggadah with its list of music, as well as some ideas that you can use to make the most out of using this Peace Haggadah. This Peace Haggadah, which is in the format to create the Peace Seder of your choosing, can be used in many ways. Feel free to slice and dice the various parts to your satisfaction. Coming in at almost 200 pages, there is far too much information for it all to be used at once, but we leave that to your discretion. If you would like to emphasize the commentaries dedicated toward peace from varied writers, the music, and/or the traditional 15 parts of a religious Haggadah, we have provided a flexible format to choose according to the tastes of your families or communities attending your Seders. We've selected a few parts from the Peace Seder we held on April 7th to give you some ideas. Passover is a celebration of freedom, and we want you to feel free to use your own creativity. We currently are editing the recording for April 7th Peace Seder, and we will have that completed and published as soon as possible. We hope you will find this Peace Haggadah helpful, and we'd love to hear from you. We are sending out a poll to help in making changes for a 2025 Peace Haggadah and Seder. Chag Sameach, and may you live in peace, shalom, and salam.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first Seder using our new Peace Haggadah. As you may know, we're embarking on something new today, a Seder with contributions from both Israelis and Palestinians, people from various religions, backgrounds, and localities. From California to New York in the US, Israel, Palestine, and even Australia. My name is Paul Storfer, and with me today is my wife, Sandy Lieb. I will be one of your Seder leaders today, along with my co-leader, Penny ST.
Hi, everyone. I'm Penny ST. I'd like to introduce myself a little bit. I'm a vodcaster, speaker, author, educator, mom, and wife. In my video podcast, Peace with Penny, I interview peace activists, primarily Israelis and Palestinians, working on peace in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Why? The reasons are covered in my book, Blasted from Complacency, A Journey from Terror to Transformation in Israel. It's the true story of our family's vacation in Israel in 2014, when we found ourselves at war, touring incredible sacred places by day and cowering in bomb shelters at night. I'm still trying to get over the Jewish guilt of taking my son to war for his bar mitzvah present. The missiles landed close enough to blow up my world as I knew it. Today I devote my life to peace. I believe I found my life's purpose. With the recent violence, I believe it's more important than ever for people to hear that there actually are Israelis and Palestinians who work on peace together.
Thank you, Penny. This focus today that we're going to be looking at is new, and the Haggadah we will be using today only in its virtual form. You'll see it on the screen, but the final layout is to be completed this week. We will be providing copies to each of you, along with a list of the songs and links to the music that are within the Haggadah, so that you will be able to carry this forward with the Haggadah and with music. This inclusive Haggadah stands out in three interrelated ways. First, its collaborative efforts highlight the shared experiences of Israelis and Palestinians, Jews and Arabs, and points toward a shared and interdependent future. Second, its joint authorship signifies a collective endeavor towards a binational or multicultural solution for the region. And finally, this inclusive approach culminates in the act of reading and experiencing the Haggadah, perhaps at a Seder uniting Jews, Christians, Muslims, and others at the same table to generate conversation among diverse communities. We will not, unfortunately, have the time today as we go through this, because it's on Zoom, to try and bring everybody together in ways that we can have broad conversations. But we will hopefully provide time, and as we read through all of this Haggadah, provide the time and the ability for us all to share, to work together. As an orientation, this Haggadah is different from most in several different ways. We are providing two different transliterations for the Hebrew in this Haggadah. Depending on your background, you may find one or both, or elements of both, familiar, and the other elements unfamiliar and perhaps even a bit strange. We hope that your use of this Peace Haggadah encourages you to become more comfortable in embracing the unfamiliar, but this is not why we chose to do the transliterations this way. On the left-hand side, where you see transliterations, you'll find simplified transliterations intended primarily for people who are of Ashkenazi descent. These will be labeled Transliteration A. On the right side, labeled Transliteration 1, you'll find transliterations that follow fairly standard academic conventions for most of the letters and take inspiration from the Arabic chat alphabet for 2 letters. Traditional prayers follow a set formula, which we offer here with variations. Feel free to use, as you're on mute, feel free to use whichever variant speaks to you in the moment or create your own. The traditional variant uses masculine gendered language for God. To this, we add the variants in the feminine version and in language as close to gender neutral as we can coax Hebrew into. The decision to include all 3 versions and the decision to keep the masculine version completely unchanged were made with a view to maximal inclusivity. You will find as we read through this, I will read the traditional version, Nina Katz will read the feminine version, and Ignat will read the gender neutral version. We have opted for gender neutral English translations of all 3 versions. This means that in English, the feminine and masculine versions will sometimes be identical. For example, when the feminine merely substitutes queenship for kingship, they will be different when the feminine version offers other epithets for the divine relationship to the world. Gender neutral version begins with "let us bless" and uses more abstract language. Our process and goal today will be to have everyone participate in reading and singing with us. Of course, because of the limitations of Zoom, because we cannot all get together around a communal Seder table today, we will need to observe some Zoom etiquette. First and foremost, please unmute yourself only before you are about to read or speak, and remute yourself after you are done. When we sing, only a single Zoom participant should sing live. Live singing in a group on Zoom is a disaster. If you've tried it, you know that to be the case. For today, the singing will be done by Sandy and me when we're doing it live, but most of the music we will be doing will be coming from music that is pre-recorded. We'll be playing it so that you can hear it, and you will have links to those when we distribute the Haggadah. So I think we're now ready to begin doing this. We can begin. This Peace Haggadah honors the victims of violence between Israelis and Palestinians and all who seek peace. While preparing this Haggadah, we have witnessed unprecedented atrocities. Passover represents a time for freedom from all forms of bondage, be they physical, mental, or emotional. Let us open our minds and hearts to humanity, deliver the region from evil, and bring peace. I also want to start with a disclaimer. The Peace Haggadah presented here is a result of a collective effort. The views and opinions expressed in it are solely those of the individual authors. They do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of any other entity, organization, or individual associated with its creation or distribution. Credit to songs are indicated in the text, and the cover art is by Amalia Sherman. And Amalia will be the person who will be putting together the Haggadah that will be sent to you from a visual standpoint. I'm going to you will notice as we go through the Haggadah, some of it is in a lighter gray and some of it is in black.
We read the parts that were in black and we skipped the lighter gray. So I wanted to give an example of how we went around the room paragraph by paragraph with the commentary by Avrum Burg, and I'll do the same with the prayers and two different ways that we presented the music. One was with Paul and his wife Sandy singing with a guitar, as well as we had some recordings of music. So let's begin with the reading of Avrum Burg. I'll start and then the next person.
There is a potential for Passover to undergo a transformation akin to what modernity has done for Hanukkah and Tu B'Shvat. Can Passover hold significance for the contemporary individual, embodying redemption as complete freedom? To achieve this, we must reimagine the exodus from Egypt, not merely as a national struggle against an oppressor, but as a profound clash of worldviews, the triumph of human rights over the lust for conquest and dominance inherent in every power structure. This reimagining invites us to consider contemporary struggles through a similar lens, such as the Palestinian liberation struggle. This movement at its core asserts the right to self-determination, land, and sovereignty as it challenges systems of control and occupation. By drawing parallels between the ancient quest for freedom and modern human rights struggles, we can enrich our understanding of Passover as a universal symbol of liberation from oppression that resonates with the ongoing fight for dignity and rights for all people, including Palestinians.
From this perspective, the Exodus is a universal call, resonating from ancient times to the present day, that could not have occurred without 5 courageous women: Yocheved, who defied Pharaoh's order to kill her son Moses; Shifra and Puah, the midwives who refused to carry out Pharaoh's cruel commands of killing the firstborn; Miriam, Moses' sister, who watched over him in the Nile; and Batya, Pharaoh's daughter, who rescued Moses from the river. These women grasped the essence of the struggle and spearheaded a human, national, and feminist revolution of their era. Their message was clear: if Pharaoh holds unchecked power, then true existence is denied. They asserted that only by limiting power can freedom emerge, benefiting humanity as a whole. The freedom of one is incomplete without the freedom of all. True freedom lies in inclusivity. It is about respecting the dignity of every individual. For many, too many, even in the most egalitarian societies, women are still merely the first among the others and unequals.
Passover is, therefore, not a celebration of power, but of freedom after successfully limiting power.
We just read a few paragraphs of Avrum Burg's guest essay, and now we'll listen to the beautiful voice of Sandy as she lights the candles.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Yom Tov. Blessed are you, eternal God, ruler of the universe, who has sanctified us with your commandments and commanded us to kindle the festival lights.
It is tradition to have the youngest say the 4 questions, and I was lucky enough to have someone from our temple. Her mother, Melissa, allowed Talia to do the 4 questions for us in Hebrew, and I'd like to play that recording for us now.
מה נשתנה הלילה הזה מכל הלילות, מכל הלילות, שבכל הלילות אנו אוכלים חמץ ומצה, חמץ ומצה. הלילה הזה, כולו מצה. הלילה הזה, כולו מצה. שבכל הלילות אנו אוכלים שאר ירקות, שאר ירקות. הלילה הזה, מרור, מרור. הלילה הזה, מרור, מרור. Shebecho Chalelo in Anu Matbilim Afilu Pa'amecha Afilu Pa'amecha Halayla Hazeh Shetefei Amim Halayla Hazeh Shetefei Amim Shebecho Chalelo Anu Ochin Ben Yoshvi Inuvin Mesubim Ben Yoshvi Inuvin Mesubim Halayla Hazeh Kulanu Mesubin Halayla Hazeh Kulanu Mesubin.
We're now going to sing a song. Hinei Matov. Hinei Matov is a song about bringing people together and frequently used at gatherings, and one that we have felt very much personally. So we will sing this. This is a version written by Todd Herzog, and you have some information up there with it. I cannot give you all of the words on one page, but we got a close piece as we go through. Hinei Matovu Manayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad Hinei Matovu Manayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad Hinei Matovu Manayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad Hinei Matovu Manayim How beautiful it is to be here, feeling like we belong, on and on, just like sisters and brothers, joined together in song. Hinei Matovu Manayim, Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hinei Matovu Manayim, Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Shevet Achim Gam Yachad.
And finally, I wanted to give an example of music recording. This is by the multi-platinum artist Michael Hunter Oakes, and he was kind enough to give us permission to use it for our Peace Seder. It is Michael Hunter Oakes' song, a healing song, Refuah Shlema, and I believe the whole world could use some healing.
Do you ever feel so fragile, like a sparrow against the wind, like the world is on your shoulders, like a stranger in your skin? Healing of the body and a healing of the heart, healing of the spirit and the broken parts, healing of the body, grant us healing of the soul, healing of the spirit, may we soon be whole. Refuah, 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 Refuah Shlema, Refuah, Refuah, Refuah Shlema. When the world is dark and troubled, healing of the body and a healing of the heart, healing of the spirit and the broken parts, healing of the body, grant us healing of the soul, healing of the spirit, may we soon be whole. Refuah, refuah, refuah shlema, refuah, refuah, refuah shlema, refuah.
Healing of the nation from sea to shining sea. May we be the change that we want to see. Healing of the ocean, the rivers and the streams, the mountain and the valley and the air we breathe. Refuah, shlema.
We hope that you've found these ideas helpful to create your Seder, and we want to wish you all a very happy Passover and Chag Sameach, and may you live in peace, shalom, and salam.